The Legal Counsel has called on the federal government and the Central Bank of Nigeria to obey the court order and reinstate the staff of the Federal Urban Mass Transit, whose appointment was illegally and unlawfully terminated. Now, over 15 years of grueling litigation, the National Industrial Court ordered the Central Bank of Nigeria to pay the sum of 2.8 billion naira to the 314 staff of the Federal Urban Mass Transit Agency, whose appointment was illegally and unlawfully terminated. Here's more on this report.
16 years. The order was made by late Justice E.N. Abakoba in a judgment in garnishing proceedings marked NICN/ABJ/228M/2022, brought by the judgment creditors whose appointments were unlawfully terminated by the judgment debtors listed as the President and Commander-in-Chief, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Head of Service of the Federation, Minister, Federal Ministry of Transportation, and Federal Urban Mass Transit Agency. At the Court of Appeal, the President Judge of the three-man panel, Justice H.A. Barker, said all the appeals that emanate from the National Industrial Court will not be heard. The court has not set up a panel that will look into those cases. In his reaction, counsel to the first respondent, Malcolm Ike, expressed his disappointment over the refusal of the government and CBN to obey the court order that mandated the payment of FUNTA entitlements.
For the Presidency, Head of Service, Ministry of Transportation, and of course FUNTA. They didn't appeal the judgment, but never obey the judgment. So to enforce the judgment, we decided to use one of the procedures for enforcement of judgment and applied for garnishing other proceedings, garnishing proceedings at the same industrial court that gave this judgment. And we had the National Industrial Court garnishing judgment ruling was given in our favor, despite all the counter motions and whatever. Now, the garnishee, the second garnishee being the Central Bank of Nigeria, because under the TCA now, all government monies of federal agencies and ministries are domiciled with the CBN. So CBN is the second garnishee. And the ruling at the lower court said, go and pay these people their money.
5 years down the line, my members, some are sick, some have stroke, some are dying. Even this year, we lost one. Last year, we lost 3 people. So is it in their graves they are going to enjoy the benefits that accrue from this judgment?
Meanwhile, appellants counsel Central Bank of Nigeria, Emmanuel Oluwabiyi, said the garnishing order was made without jurisdiction.
We were briefed to stand in for Central Bank of Nigeria to contest that garnishing order NICOMSAT. So what we did was we filed an application for the court to set aside the garnishing order NICOMSAT because it was made without jurisdiction. Why? Because Attorney General's consent was not sought. Number 2, Central Bank filed affidavit to show cause to say that these fellows who say you got judgment and have account with us, they do not have account with us. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria does not have account with Central Bank and some other parties. The head of civil service said they said these people don't have account with us. So Urban Mass Transit, they said they don't have account with us. So this is the basis of which the affidavit to show cause was filed by the Central Bank in the National Industrial Court to contest that order that my Lord Justice Agbakuba of blessed memory made, asking that that order be set aside because it was made without jurisdiction.
However, 5 years after the above judgment, the listed debtors refused to comply with the judgment, necessitating the judgment creditors to commence a garnishing proceedings against them.